Everyone knows there are 20 managers in the Premier League, yeah? Well, actually, no. Around 3/4 of them are not managers. The terms manager and head coach are often used interchangeably to describe Premier League bosses, but they're actually two different jobs. So let's explain how and why. For years, fans referred to Mikel Arteta as Arsenal's manager, but I'm afraid technically...
I don't think so, no.
From his first day on the job, he was the Gunners' head coach. Let's pick a random moment in time, February 2025. Only 6 Premier League bosses actually held the official title of manager rather than head coach. Man City's Pep Guardiola, David Moyes of Everton, Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna, Southampton's Ivan Juric, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and Leicester's Ruud van Nistelrooy were the only actual managers of their respective teams. Everyone else? That's right, head coach, including Ruben Amorim at Man United. He took over from Erik ten Hag, a man who had held the title of manager. Might come as a surprise that Amorim's appointment marked the first time ever that Man United had a head coach instead of a manager. But to understand why they made that decision, you also have to get what the difference is between a head coach and a manager. A manager's got a huge range of responsibilities. They're not just in charge of training and player lineups, they're also heavily involved in player sales and transfers. Critical stuff. But a head coach's role is far more focused on team training and performance on the pitch. So whereas Ten Hag was highly involved with decisions around transfers during his tenure, the intention was that Amorim wouldn't be, at least not on the same level. And as the sporting structure at Man United changed under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, people like Sir Dave Brailsford took charge of transfers instead. How all those roles play out in practice may be slightly different at different clubs though. On the other hand, the contracts of actual managers like Pep or Moyes had no limits on their job role and their involvement with transfers and contracts. But those guys are actually in the minority now, and it's a change that's happened pretty quickly. In 2019, there were only 6 head coaches in the Premier League, but by 2025 there were 14. A clear indication that more and more clubs are moving towards a model where the guy in charge is actually only really in charge on the pitch. And the way things are going, it might not be long before all 20 clubs have got head coaches, and the job position of football manager in the top flight is no more.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar Weekender with me, Majestic, alongside former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant. I can't have all this upbeat music behind me because Spurs have been embarrassed once again at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's right, Fulham. What did they ask Santa Claus for Christmas? An away win. What did they get? An away win. Embarrassing once again. Players annoyed that the fans are booing them. They've got every reason in the world. Are you sick of Thomas Frank already? Or does it lie with the players as well? Give us a call, 03717 223344, as once again, at the £1 billion stadium, where Beyonce lives. It's the home of concerts, F1, boxing. But is it the home of any good football? No, it's not. Give us a call. It's Majestic, it's JP. This is the Sports Bar Weekender. Right, JP, get out of the way. Get the laughing out of the way. Do it now.
Has anyone seen Majestic, Jamie O'Hara,
I'm here.
Glenn O'Neill, Aussie Art Dealers? You boys took one hell of a meeting.
Hell of a meeting. Oh, mate. When I got a call, yeah, I looked at it, it was like 8 o'clock, Saturday night kickoff, which is terrible, by the way, anyway. Yeah. And I was like, should I go to Spurs or should I come on air and probably be embarrassed by my team once again? So I thought I'd come here for punishment. So we're going to go straight to the phone lines because I want my fellow Spurs brethren to have their say. Let's go to Darren. How are we, Darren?
Oh, boys.
Right.
Listen, Jason Cundy will be having a field day, but we need to realise this, right? This is I'm with my 10-year-old son now in the car, right?
What's his name, Darren?
His name is Shalom. Shalom, say hello.
Hello.
All right, mate.
Listen, it's my grandfather started going to Spurs in the 50s. This is his first ever game, 4th generation, and it is abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal. And to be honest, I'll be quite frank with you, pun intended.
Pun intended,
it's
indeed.
not good enough. The squad is just not good enough. Since Kane left, we haven't replaced him. Since Pochettino left, we haven't replaced him. And it's absolutely awful.
Was the game? Was your first game for your 10-year-old son?
Yeah, I'm on the way back from the game now.
Right. So what did you think when you saw Vicario in the corner? Because I knew what I thought when I was watching that. I knew what was going to happen.
To be fair, right, I understood what he was thinking. He's thinking, we're 1-0 down, I'll play it out and create something. But it's just, do you know what? They're playing with, it's like when England used to play, you know, in old World Cups and Euros before Southgate, where they're playing and you can see the pressure on their shoulders. And you can see it now. The atmosphere was as poor, I think, as it's ever been without people getting behind the team. I'll be honest with you, the last game I went to before this was Bilbao. And I've not been since Bilbao because it's been that poor. Bilbao was so poor.
Dreadful, wasn't it?
To be honest, they should have cancelled the game at half-time and neither team should have won. That's how poor it was. But I've not been since then, and it's got worse. It's absolutely got worse.
Darren, what's the solution, though? What's the solution for you, in your opinion?
I've got to be honest, at this point I don't know.
Yeah.
Levy's gone. Obviously the owners haven't changed.
Are we just biding our time till January to see what they can do then?
You know what? I'm biding my time till a lot of Spurs fans disagree with this, but I have to be honest and say it. I'm biding my time till the summer, till Pochettino leaves the USA and bring him back.
Yeah.
You know what? I've not seen since Pochettino. I don't think I've enjoyed a single game watching Tottenham. It's been absolutely abysmal. Bring him back, see what happens. If it doesn't happen, all right, we'll move on. But you can't know that you've got to move on until you bring him back because it can't get worse.
Darren, great call. Thank you very much. Let's go straight to G, who joins us. How are we, G?
Midge.
What?
Don't, mate. Listen.
If I was there, I'd be holding you right now. Come here. Because it's therapy
mate.
with one of your own. And I tell you what, mate, it's getting worse.
Mate. Serious. Have you got the violin on? Can you play the violin?
Yeah, we need the violins. We need, because I tell you what.
Listen, mate. So that last caller there, yeah, my heart and soul goes out to him. All right? You got to remember, his son was there. By the way, I've got a croaky voice. This is natural.
I like it.
Listen, and his grandfather, like his father was there, and his grandfather was like, listen, we're talking about a generation looking at this, looking at that. They're watching that, and it is awful.
What do we do? Gee, what do we do?
You know what we do, Midge? Listen, by the way, Midge, you're a ledge.
Thank you, brother.
Can I just say that, yeah? You know what I mean? Instead of putting those sort of violins on, mate, just put some break beats down, you know what I mean? You should smash that sort of
But
thing.
you guys need more than violin.
Yeah. What do we need,
listen,
JP?
mate, we need an orchestra. We don't need one
You
violin.
need the church. You need the
And the
Pope.
Royal Albert Hall. Mate, but I'll just
You need Jesus.
listen. We need to bite our tongues, but we haven't got that long of a tongue. Mark my words.
Has Thomas Frank got long? Is he the man?
How long's a piece of string in North London?
All right. But what I'm saying is, if these results continue, is it time?
But do you know what, JP? It's been Ange's fault. It's been Nuno's fault. It's been Conte's fault. When Conte called those players out against Southampton, we were 3-1 up. We ended up drawing 3-0. He said, these players do not want to play under pressure. It always ends back on the manager. And I am tonight going to expose what this is. There is an undercore. There is an underbelly. And this is why other clubs laugh at Spurs. And this is why other clubs laugh at our fans when we get deluded about things. I know what we are as a football club. Yeah. And what we are is we are where we are. We shop in second-rate shops, yeah? Like, for example, tonight, Xavi Simons, who clearly is a footballer, a decent footballer, is not ready for the Premier League yet, yeah? We could have had Eberechi Eze. We could have had Morgan Gibbs-White, but we don't want to do the deals, yeah? So we are living off the legacy of Daniel Levy, and that's still affecting us. Let's go to GJ, because I've had him on loads, and GJ last week was annoyed. GJ, what's going on?
Oh, lads, you know what, right? I couldn't go tonight because
Thank God.
I got summoned in for cat sitting duties, but I got out of it. I mean, I dodged a bullet there, didn't I?
Oh, mate, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know what I've got to say? First things first, the atmosphere was absolutely flat, right? I watched the Everton game before, and even though they got spanked, the crowd were way more fired up. And by the way, what a goal that was by Dewsbury Hall. That was straight out of the Bergkamp catalogue, I have to say that.
Yeah, I just. Do you know what it looks like, right? I'm going to give my opinion here. Is the team still looks hungover from that North London battering? The team, I don't think they've recovered. I don't think the fans have recovered. The players haven't recovered from that absolutely slaughtering at the Emirates.
Oh, that, yeah, absolutely.
No,
the fans and the players haven't recovered. The team hasn't recovered. Second half, you look a little bit better. But first half was absolutely, shocking.
Can we quickly just talk about Vicario, because I've called him out on the Inside Spurs podcast here on talkSPORT. He is not a number one, right? And let me ask you, because you're the professional, JP, you've been there, you've done it. If you look back in those sticks and you see someone that you don't trust as a footballer, and you know when you play football with someone, I don't really fancy him, right? Have you ever been in that situation and the team don't rely on that keeper?
Well, you know someone's a weakling,
yes,
and you don't want to pass the ball in certain situations because you know it could go left or right. So yeah, the defenders will not have that backing, will not have that trust in Vicario at times. And when you haven't got the trust in your goalkeeper, that puts you slightly on the back foot. Rather than being up, comfortable, composed, knowing that your goalkeeper's got this, you're on edge every minute when the ball goes back to him. Rather than sometimes playing back to your goalkeeper, then playing out to the other side, you're playing it back hesitant, like, shall I really do this? And that's going to affect the whole of the defence.
Absolutely. Thank you, GJ. Let's go straight to Chris, who's a Spurs fan as well. The phone lines are lit up with angry Spurs fan. Chris, what do we make of it?
Oh, I didn't imagine that. Jesus Christ! Oh, that was awful.
Second half was better, though.
Awful. Yeah, no, but honestly, the thing is, though, look, I am frustrated, and do forgive me about my frustration. I'm just, oh God, honestly, it's turgid football. But the thing is that, look, we can't blame Thomas Frank. Let's get to this bit. Look, this is a hangover.
Why not?
As you say.
No. I have to agree. I have to agree with Chris there. I don't think, especially tonight, when you're a manager, you don't expect Vicario to go and do that after 6 minutes, do you?
Yeah, but it should have been 4. It should have been 4-0 about half time.
Yeah, but when your goalkeeper's done that at that early stage of the game, your heads are gone. You're trying to recover. What the hell? It's just like it's like in a boxing fight. When's the most vulnerable time for a boxer? First round, they get knocked down. You know, it's the same thing. They got to get their heads back in the game. Right now, I have to say, you know, it's just worrying, isn't it?
Now, Thomas Frank and Arnie Slot are running on a tightrope right now.
Well, yeah, but let's not forget Ruben Amorim is also a tightrope as well, Jermaine. Yeah, no, but the thing is, though, look, this club needs root and branch reform. Simple as. You look at what Newcastle have done since the Saudis have come over, right? You know, they've got new directors of football, the recruitment's better. I mean, look at them. They sold Isak and they've got Voltamade, who's even better than the guy they got rid of, right? And the thing is, you know, we've got players like Matis Tell.
But you say that, Chris. Newcastle are on the same points as us.
Well, yeah, but I mean, come on. It's just won 4-1 tonight. They won
4-1 tonight, but we beat Everton 3-0. We didn't concede against Everton. Sometimes we always look at other clubs, what they're doing, what's going on. With Spurs right now, I'm with you. It needs to be start again. And this whole thing.
Look, let me say
Go on, Jay.
What's not acceptable for Spurs is that you've won one home game this season, and that was against Burnley.
Correct.
You've drew to Wolves, who were rock bottom of the table at home, who were most probably going to get relegated. Right now, the worst team in the league. You have not won a game at home in the Premier League this season. That in itself, forget the points or where you are, that in itself is not acceptable.
No, it isn't acceptable. I agree. But as I say, like the other caller said, we are shopping in Poundland for players. That's what we're doing. Getting Destiny Doggy, Kevin Danso, Jed Spence. Jed Spence is not even good enough to get in the Championship. But
the problem is, Chris, do you know, I'll say this.
New, though.
But I'll say this, right? For example, when we bought Dele Alli for £5 million, right, and he turned out to be incredible for those few seasons that he was amazing, right? Yeah, if Spurs started buying from the Championship, and there's some amazing players in the Championship, by the way, fans would turn. Our fan base are part of the problem. I'm part of the fan base. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we want. We don't know whether we want to win ugly.
We will win. We will win.
But we want to win. But when we win and it's ugly under Conte, it's boring. Then it's like Conte goes, we got big hands, and it's like, woohoo! It's crazy for a bit.
All right, let me ask both of you a question. When was the last time Spurs went out and bought a marquee player?
This is what I'm saying. 1994, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Right. So you can't start blaming. We've shop it here. That's what you've done throughout most of your history.
Oh no, we have.
But the recruitment's been poor. That you can still buy a decent player. For example, like Brighton or Bournemouth don't go out and buy marquee players on a regular basis. Yeah, but their recruitment's been a lot better.
But they make a marquee and then people buy them.
Yes. For example, Crystal Palace, Elise, Eze, etc. But if we went to buy, if we bought Elise and Eze from Reading, right, our fans would be like, "What are we buying from Reading for?" It's the same way we're going, "Oh, Thomas Frank's not good enough for Spurs. He was only at Brentford." The last good manager that we had, that everybody loved, came from Southampton, Pochettino. Anyway, great call. Thank you. Let's go to Jamie, who joins us on the Sports Bar Weekend now. Are we, Jay?
Oh, mate, it's every week now. It's constant. I dread watching it. I still watch it because it's my team and I support them, but it's dreadful. It's just every time they start off slow, and then they have to go a couple of goals down to then start pushing on and putting a performance in.
Jamie, let me ask you about Vicario. What do you make of him? Because I don't think we've talked about him enough. Apparently, Thomas Frank's come out.
He's dreadful. He's dreadful. He pulls off. He will pull off a couple of decent saves. He's no good with his feet. Nope. He's no good at commanding that box at all.
And you know what I love about him? he'll do that mistake and he'll start shouting at his players. If I played with him, mate, I'm putting it on him.
Take some accountability. He's shocking. They play out from the back. We haven't got the players to play out from the back. They do it every time they get a goal kick. He sometimes ain't even taking the goal kicks, and they want to play it about at the back, and they invite the pressure on, and then they can't deal with the pressure, and it's constant. The PSG game, yes, that was probably one of the better performances we've had this season, but then we was let down by 3 stupid mistakes. Twice they scored from the edge of the box because no one wanted to close him down. Similar thing today. Their right back closed in. No one was marking him. We can't also keep going back to this, change the manager. No. As you said just now, we've had Conte, we've had Mourinho. Mourinho got binned off 3 days before a cup final. That was what he was brought in, all because Levy didn't want to pay him the money that he would have had to pay him for winning that trophy.
Yep.
Conte spoke the truth after that Southampton game, and what he said was bang on. The players there don't want to win. Yes, we won the trophy last season. It's the second trophy in my lifetime of me supporting Spurs that we've won a trophy, and it was amazing. But what has it done for us? Nothing. We haven't kicked on. Nothing's changed. We've virtually gone. We tightened up a bit from the football that we had with Ange last season, but ultimately the results haven't changed. The home form is terrible. Like that, one win. Mate, they just can't.
Do you know what, Jay? I'm going to read out the results of our home form. Yeah, we lost 3-0 to Burnley at home. Then we lost 1-0 to Bournemouth at home. Then we got a late equaliser against Wolves at home, 1-0. We lost 2-1 to Villa at home. We lost 1-0 to Chelsea at home in one of the most abysmal London derbies I've ever seen. We then drew 2-2 with Man United. Again, Vicario. We should have won that. And then tonight we lose 2-1 to Fulham. I earlier on I was looking at the mistakes that Vicario has made for Spurs, yeah? And there's so many games. The FA Cup 4th round last year when he got bullied by Ake for the corner. The North London derby where people taking his gloves off and stuff. He has to go. January, buy a new keeper, be brave and beat him off. Thank you, Jamie. Let's go to Tom, who joins us on the Sports Bar Weekend. How are we, Tom?
Yeah, hi there. Good evening. Listen, what I want to say is I think Frank has to go. There's no clear game plan. When we walk out, nobody knows what they're doing. And you're sitting there watching it, and there's no strategy.
There's no urgency, that's for sure.
There's no urgency. There's no strategy. There's particularly up front, right? We've got the problem with Richarlison, right? He's I think we need Solanke to come back in. However, there's no focal point in the team, and obviously we are still missing Kulusevski and Maddison. I think that will change things, but as it stands, we look lost. We look lost, and I don't know whether it's to do with Frank, the way that he sets the team up. But
Tom, can I get your opinion on this? I'm just reading about Thomas Frank speaking to the media after the game, and apparently on the booing of Vicario after his mistake, he said that's not a true Spurs fan. What do you make of those comments there from Frank?
About booing Vicario?
Yeah, after the mistake.
Look, he shouldn't have been out on the left wing where he was. It's crazy. He should have. If you're out there, at least launch the ball down.
That's trying to do step overs.
Right. Listen, it's not about launching the ball. What you do is you put it in row Z in the stand.
That's
you
the one.
kick it out or play,
100%.
and then they've got to get the ball back.
But you can also sort of look at Danso and Van der Ven. They should have also looked at and covered. However, they were kind of sleepwalking. They didn't cover, and it's kind of diabolical, really.
I love that. That is a great word, by the way. Let's thank you very much, Tom. Listen, the number is 03717223344. Get those calls in right now. What I want to know from Spurs fans, I've just been reading, Thomas Frank has come out and said, if you booed Vicario tonight, then you are not a true Spurs fan. What do you make of that? Are you Thomas Frank out already? Do you give him more time? Is this the hangover that Spurs are feeling from all of this chopping and changing, from shopping in second-rate stores? It's a Sports Bar Weekender with a very gleeful Jermaine Pennant and a very angry Majestic.
He's there. He's going to strike it. Takes a deflection and goes in past the stranded Vicario. And Fulham take the lead after 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
And it's the last thing Tottenham needed.
Vicario's coming to the right fullback position and he's out of his goal and he's giving the ball away to Josh King. And he's in a right pickle and they've bent it in with Wilson! It's 2-0!
A lot of Spurs fans off their seats berating the goalkeeper.
Tottenham have had a 1% chance of scoring a goal in the first half. Willis is back in here and he's volleyed the ball into the top corner.
It only takes one goal in the Premier League and all of a sudden things get a little bit more exciting around the stadium.
Well, the Jekyll and Hyde nature of Spurs is once again in full display at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There's the full-time whistle, and listen to those boos. I think there might be a frank exchange of views after that. Tottenham lose again. They fail to win at home again.
It's the Sports Ball Weekend here on talkSPORT with me, season ticket holder for Tottenham Hotspur Majestic, alongside former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant. Now, during the short pause, Jermaine, we were talking about Spurs' home record. In the last 20 home league games, Tottenham's record...
No, let's pause it there. 22. 22.
You're going to go for 22.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you a stat here, right? In the last 20 home league games in the Premier League, our win rate is 15%.
So basically, you've won 3 games.
Yeah.
You've won 3
in
games
20.
at home.
It's...
That's amazing.
It's not amazing.
It's
amazingly bad.
It's an amazing read to see that your team at home has won 3 games out of 20 at home.
I'll be completely honest.
You've got to take that away from the manager, and you've got to start now looking at your team.
Yeah.
And going, this team is bang average.
Absolutely. And the players, not good enough. You can keep changing the manager, but there are no leaders in this team, right? And, the leaders are there, and people often go about, for example, Maddison, yeah? Maddison is a leader. He's got something about him. Kulusevski's a leader, right? We're missing them right now, for sure. But we need people to step up. And Vicario talks the big talk that he's a leader, shouts at people when he makes mistakes. But I don't know, there's something inherently wrong with Spurs at the moment, and we need a frank investigation. Let's go to Ricky, the Spurs fan. How are we, Ricky?
I'm about the same as you tonight, I think, mate. It's been a bit of a long one, isn't it?
I'm just happy that I didn't go. I'm glad I gifted my tickets to my good friend Hacks, who had to bear that. Mate, I just want to know where we go from here because, listen, I can speak to you as a fellow Spurs fan. For me, since we moved to the new stadium, the energy there's not been right. There hasn't been... Remember the last season at White Hart Lane? It was glorious, wasn't it? We went unbeaten that season at White Hart Lane. And it just seems like there's something in that stadium. The energy's poor. I don't know. You tell me, Ricky.
I understand what everyone's saying about with all the problems, but for me, it's coaching. If you watch how we play today, we do the same thing over and over again. We play it out to the left centre-back. He then plays across our goal, which causes more trouble than anything else. They then go up the right wing, either lose it or come back again. It's just over and over. Throw-ins, none of the players move. They just stand there. It's just turgid. It's awful.
Turgid is the word.
Is coaching.
So do you think that the 3 coaches, your 3 last coaches that you've had, have not been right for Spurs, and none of the players should take accountability?
No, I think the players should absolutely take accountability. I think everyone's right. There's a problem from the ground up. But tonight was coaching. Like when you look at how we're playing, it's slow. There's no direction. There's no thought. It's just we're going to play, and they play across the front of the box every single time. We don't even shoot. They pass it around the edge of the box when they got it there. It's like they're scared to shoot. It's insane.
You know what, Ricky? That's been a thing for a long time, though. And what we had once upon a time was the joys of Son and Kane, who had the ability just to pop out their feet and have a go from outside the box. And that's how we sometimes just get into a game. And all of a sudden, when you're in the sender seat, it's a bit better. I want to know where we go from here, Ricky.
I think we need a proper clear out. I think you're right with the fact that we bought bargain basements. They're always maybes and could be's. I disagree with the guy that said that Jed Spencer's no good. I can't understand tonight why we took Bergveld and Archie Gray, who were our best players, off. They're the only ones that were doing any work, and he takes them off. I mean, I think you're right. We do need some of our players back. Solanke missing is massive. I'm not sure about Maddison. I'm not sure. Since he's come, his injuries have been so bad and he's never got a good run. And until he does, I don't think we're going to see the best out of him.
The only thing with Madders is you look at his contributions when Madders is fit. There's no doubt his contributions to the team. That European run, he was absolutely, a massive part of that. Integral, exactly the word I was looking for.
He's injured so often.
That's the problem.
He's not getting the run he needs.
Yeah, you know what, Ricky? The day he got injured in Korea, I would have ripped up Sonny's contract and said, "Sorry, mate, you can't go. We need you." Right now, having Son in that team, just an older and a more experienced player. I know a lot of people said his legs had gone last season. I think we just lack any kind of star quality at the moment.
Well, your next 4 games is Newcastle away. You've got Brentford at home.
I'm going to have to stop you there because let's head over to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Declan McCarthy is with Tottenham manager Thomas Frank.
Thanks, Madge. Thomas, thank you for joining us live on talkSPORT. A pretty frustrating night and another defeat at home. What did you make of your team's performance tonight?
I think we unfortunately gave ourselves a mountain to climb, down 2-0 after 6 minutes. A little bit the classic when you are in a bad spell, then sometimes things go a little bit easy against you. So the first one is a deflected shot, and the second one is a mistake from Mick, where I didn't like the way the fans reacted. Didn't like that they booed at him, and also the next 3, 4, 5 situations. For me, that can't be true Tottenham fans. They should back the players throughout 90 minutes, no matter what. Then, of course, after, fair enough to boo if we lose, because we're in it together. Then we rushed first half. After the 2-0, we were a little bit self-shocked, I think. And forgot to be a little bit more calm and cool and just keep going. Second half, I liked much more, where I scored a good goal and had a little bit of momentum and also created chances, opportunities to give us a second goal. Unfortunately, we didn't get it.
It is 3 wins in 21 Premier League games, and you just mentioned there about fans booing. You don't mind them expressing themselves, just not during the game, is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And is that in reaction to the mistake Vicario had in the first half? You just didn't like that at all?
Yeah.
So were you left a bit frustrated in the manner of that first half? But for them to show character in the second half, to try and turn it around, we just heard from Bert Leno there that they said they knew they were going to be in for a fight, but it just couldn't really get going.
Who said that, sorry?
Bert Leno.
Okay. Keep going about what, sorry?
Just about how you were going to react for the second halh.
Oh, second half, okay, yeah. No, I think, as I said, second half was much better. We got the goal, we put them under pressure, couldn't get the second goal.
And of course, after you got the goal back in the second half, you made 3 changes straight after. I just wanted to ask, was that just to freshen the legs up, or was there something you hadn't seen that you weren't quite pleased with?
No, of course, it's like you make the decision to make the changes because I think it looked okay, and then you just had to, when taking the decision, you just had a little bit of momentum, scored the goal, but there was also some fresh legs. Richie have played 2 90s to get another extra fresh player in, to get a more winger in, Wilson in, and then who was the last one we got in? Forgot that. Rodri for Shaw, just a different type, yeah.
And then just finally from me, obviously not long to dwell on this game, as you've got another big one on Tuesday, and I suppose that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. We can do everything we can to turn it around, you can say, to get a good performance and get a win.
Thank you very much for joining us live on talkSPORT, Thomas.
Thank you very much. That was Declan McCarthy with Tottenham Hotspur manager Thomas Frank, who has doubled down to what I said earlier about booing players during the game. Firstly, I'm going to go to you, JP, because you are the professional. You've been there, you've done that. What do you make of those fans booing
Listen, you've got to expect it. They're paying money, good money, week in, week out, being loyal, travel up and down the country.
He said that you're not a true Spurs fan if you booed him. What do you make?
Listen, if you can't handle a boo, if he doesn't want the fans booing, then put on a better performance. Stop making stupid mistakes. Get some 3 points on the table at home, and then the fans won't boo. So the fans don't have a right to boo.
Thomas Frank, I'm going to speak to you as a season ticket holder. 2 season tickets. I take my son every game. I pay regardless of what Matt, the Spurs fan, says he reckons Levy paid for my season tickets, I don't. I pay a lot of money for those season tickets. And let me tell you something. When it comes to payment, you will never have Tottenham Hotspur ring you as quick as possible for the money, mate. Honestly, it's worse than your mate when you're on a fiver down the pub. They ring every day. Hello, do you have the season ticket payment ready? So when people are paying a lot of money to go and watch abysmal football in Beyonce's home, because let's face it, that's what it is at the moment. It isn't the Tottenham Hotspur Fortress. It's the home of Beyonce, yeah? Fans are going to be riled up when the geezer that gave away the 3 points against Manchester United for standing behind the white line on the last minute when a header comes in. People are going to be annoyed when he goes and tries to do step-overs on the left-hand side 5 minutes in after giving a goal away. That's why people are annoyed. Thomas Frank, I really like you as a manager. I even more so like you as a person. But that, my friend, is not the way to win the Tottenham Hotspur faithful over, who are going home tonight from that ground annoyed. 10-year-olds are going for their first game there, and you serve that up. Don't come and start speaking about fans booing, my friend, because that will not do well for your situation at Tottenham Hotspur. And that's a club that I love, and you're a manager that I want to back and I want to see turn this round. But my friend, don't become with Spurs fans like that, because I am a Spurs fan, and I'm telling you on behalf of the Spurs fans how we're feeling right now. And let's go and find out from Tan if he agrees. How are we, Tan?
Hello?
How are we, Tan?
Oh, the meltdown. It's brilliant.
Tan,
Sorry,
what do you make of Thomas Frank's comments about the booing of Vicario? Oh, might be Thomas Frank. You don't want to talk to me. Right, let's go to Adam. He was at the game, so this will be interesting. Adam, how are you, mate?
Furious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was absolute disgrace.
Right, have you heard Thomas Frank's comments about the booing of Vicario?
I want to point something out about that.
Go on.
He says it was much better in the second half. It couldn't have been any worse. We could have been 5-0 down in the first half. We made Fulham look like Tiki Taka Barcelona. It was an absolute shambles.
Do you know what? I just want to say something on Vicario. If, that was his first mistake, you can understand, and he's putting in solid performances week in, week out. You can understand where Thomas Frank's coming from. Yeah. But it's every like 2 or 3 games.
It's every 3.
He will throw in a massive blunder that costs Spurs either the win or makes them lose. When that's happening constantly,
yes,
the fans will get annoyed and start booing. If nothing changes, if there's a goalkeeper, a defender, a midfielder, keep on making the same mistake or a mistake that punishes your team, he will get booed because the frustration sets in. Like, how much can we handle? How much can we take from where the manager sees, oh, this guy's not reliable? Let's throw someone else in there instead.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to rely on your number one. And I've said it before, Vicario is a fantastic shot stopper. There's parts of his game that are brilliant. But in the Premier League, when you've got a 15% win ratio at home and 7 minutes into the game, you're doing that. And then you turn around and you shout at your defenders. In fairness to Vicario, he has come out and he has apologised for the result. He says, it's a bad defeat. I apologise for the result. Listen, I appreciate him, as they say, as the youngsters say, taking the L, taking it and holding responsibility. But take him out the firing line, put Kinski in the next game, because I'll tell you what, if that was another player in another part of the pitch and he keeps coming up and you dropping points because of there, we lost 2-1. If he doesn't give that second goal away, it's a point, which still isn't good enough. 03717 22 fan. Double fan? My head's gone. I couldn't believe it. JP, he predicted it. I've had the meltdown. 03717 22 344. This is how much we love our team. It's bad, isn't it? And God, I don't want to hear Jason Cunday on Monday night from the Sports Bar from 10. It's talkSPORT.
Step up to the Oki and win on talkSPORT.
That's right, we're closing in on the talkSPORT Darts Presenter Trophy 2025 now in its third year, where 8 of talkSPORT's biggest names go head-to-head of the PDC World Darts Championship kickoff. And this year, you and a mate could be right there with us. You'll be the only members of the public allowed in on Wednesday, the 10th of December in London. 2 seats, 2 insiders passes, a true money-can't-buy experience for the ultimate talkSPORT fan. The very next day, you'll also both be heading to the opening day at the PDC World Darts Championship. Plus, we'll sort 2 nights hotel stay and a massive $2.5 grand, £2,500 in cash. I'm crashing out tonight. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. That's 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard rate network message, or call 0343 423 9761. Lines close 4 p.m. next Thursday. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK excluded, Northern Ireland. For your chance to win, text 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
Yep, get your text in. Get you text in because you may see me playing.
Are you playing? You got to call up again.
What? I'm playing.
I think you're going to call up again. They've lost my number, haven't they?
I'll call up. So, get your texting, boys, guys, girls. You may see me take on and try and get the championship this time. Second last year.
I'll tell you what, I want to read this out because this is very important. There's 2 different ideas about the whole booing situation. This is coming from Chloe. Said, gutted to hear Thomas Frank's interview, how he feels about the fans' reaction. I paid £244 tonight for a family to watch this. Overall, since September, we forked out around £900. We aren't a wealthy family. We're budgeting this in for family experience. How dare he judge us? That's from Chloe. And then Rob, who says, I've been a season ticket holder for over 20 years and never has a crowd booed their own players for a footballing mistake. Booing Vicario during the game was disgraceful. We win as a team and we lose as a team. It's a horrible example to kids, especially anyone who has attended their first ever match. Get behind the team no matter what. Come on, you Spurs. That's from Rob, who sits in the south lower stand. So, mixed reactions.
Yeah, mixed.
But I know I'm somewhere in the middle of that. Because I don't like. I wouldn't have booed Vicario personally. I don't boo my players.
But you can show frustration.
Yes,
you can show frustration when a player's doing the same results week in, week out, basically.
Same things happen,
and your team, it's costing your team.
But what I would say is to call people not true Spurs fans. I think he might have jumped the gun a little bit there, and I think Thomas Frank's probably feeding the emotions because it's his team, it's his boys, and I understand that. Let's go to Chris. He was at the game. How are we, Chris?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, well, fuming after another abysmal.
Chris is having a meltdown. Help him out,
Chris.
Yeah, well, I think half the Tottenham supporters are just emotionally unintelligent. You know what I mean? You've got to just step back a sec here. I'm completely on Thomas Frank's side about what he said. I'm not on his side totally about his substitutions at them times, and I don't agree with everything he does. But what I would say, sitting next to some of these idiots, and they are proper idiots, if you spend too much money going to football, then don't go. Sit at home and scream at your telly. Don't sit there screaming at a lad who's made a mistake and then sarcastically cheer when he kicks the ball away on the next one. If I was Thomas Frank, I think he put it very politely. I'd have torn into people.
Chris, but
because I can't stand our milky supporters last season. You know, or whenever it was Sheffield United last game of the season, cheering on Arsenal, and then or Man City at home cheering on Man City. What is going on? These blokes need to get a life. I've supported Spurs since I was 5. You know, the first game I saw was when I was 9, and I've been going every other week, home and away, as much as I can, and I would support my team on thick and thin. I don't care who makes a mistake. You can have a go at Vicario for making a mistake, yeah? But then you've got to look at the rest of the team. Look at the rest of the team today. They were abysmal.
But Chris, can I just come in there? And we can both agree on this. And I agree with your points because when I'm there, I'm never going to boo my team. I've never booed Spurs off the field. As you say, you win together, you lose together. But when someone keeps making the same mistakes, would you agree that Vicario has been at direct fault for us dropping points in the last 2 seasons? There's some weaknesses in his game.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. No,
really?
What I would say is, no, I wouldn't agree with it. I'll tell you what, he is an absolute shot stopper sometimes. He's pulled off some amazing stuff. He's not my favourite. I mean, to me, you know, he's not here. It's talkSPORT. Do you know what I mean?
He's not the Viking, that's for sure.
He's not the Viking, no. But what I mean is, by this, is this toxic supporters that we've got. I sit there every week. I swear to God, I actually have to sit there and shut my eyes and listen to the same idiots talking the same nonsense, screaming and shouting at their team, supporting another team to make sure Arsenal don't lose. You know, make sure, cheering that Arsenal lose. Mate, get a life. Support your team, thick and thin.
Chris,
don't worry about anyone else.
I'm gonna have to think. Look, I get where your guys are coming from and the pain you're going through, but I'm gonna have to disagree on a bit because football is such a passionate game. As a fan, that is your. I won't say your life, but it means a lot as a fan.
It is your life,
right.
in a way.
And it means a lot. So you go through the times when it's amazing and that celebration and the jubilance that you get from winning and achieving something. And when it's times are bad and you're losing, you will show emotion, like players do. When they go over the top and
show emotion. I'm not saying I didn't sit there and go, Jesus Christ, at the top of my voice when he messed up and kicked the ball out. I'm not saying I didn't do all of that.
Yeah, but just imagine 60,000 probably doing that at the same time. It rings out.
There's a difference between doing it at the same time, at the time he done it, but you don't have to boo him after. He's one of your players.
No, I agree with that and the sarcasm and that. That's not going to help his confidence. But what I would say, Chris,
I had no problem telling them Spurs supporters that were doing it to grow up. You know, it's pathetic.
But would you take him?
Got such a weak mentality.
Would you take? Right. Let me ask this quick: is Vicario a number one for Spurs? You mentioned Eric talkSPORT. Is he a number one for Spurs?
He ain't as good as he. No, but he's what we've got. He's what we've got.
Would you give Kinski a little go? Would you drop him? Would you drop him?
No, well, this is the thing. I don't know who's the best keeper out of them two. I'm a little bit on the shelf about it. What we got.
Yeah.
I think. What's the other fella's name, mate?
Austin.
No. Haven't we got Kinski?
Yeah, Kinski is the other one, and there's I think Austin as well, isn't it?
What I'm saying is Kinski, he's a liability and all. He's great.
Yeah.
He's a good footballer, but he'll start dinking it around and put us under pressure there. Forget the keeper for a second, yeah? This is what my point is. The keeper made a mistake and he don't deserve to get booed, right? That's one thing. The rest of the team were a shambles. It was embarrassing. It's so frustrating. We made Fulham look like Brazil, and they weren't even that good themselves. You know, we were shambolic. I don't disagree with the blokes that are saying it, but all that was that girl Chloe just saying, I pay this, I pay that. Don't pay it. Sit at home. Don't go. I'd rather not those people didn't go because they do my head in more than watching Tottenham play basketball.
I'm gonna try and defend it. Have you ever watched a game on TV, watched Spurs on TV, and screamed at the TV?
Yeah, of course I have. I scream at the TV. I scream at the players.
So there's no difference. There's no difference in being in the stadium, being in the stand. You don't hold it back in.
I'm not saying.
But you don't hold that emotion back in because now you're in the stadium.
Mate,
it just comes out.
Rubbish. Listen, Jamie. What I'm trying to say is here.
Yeah, blame Jamie.
Is that you scream at the TV, you scream when you're there, but you're not going to sit there booing at the telly, are you? It's nonsense. Stop booing.
I've booed.
Chris, great call. Brilliant call.
Cheers, Chris.
It's great to have opinions on the show, and that's what it's all about. And we have in messages. Got a message here from a Pompey fan. Tottenham fans booing is a disgrace. I'm a Pompey fan, and we never boo our own, and we've been through a lot. Jermaine will vouch for that.
Oh, yeah.
Madge, the Thomas Frank interview just makes everything a bit more Spursy. That's Paddy Grimsby, the QPR fan. As I said, listen, Thomas Frank has walked into a very toxic environment at Spurs. The fact of the matter is, we sacked the manager that won us a trophy after how many years? That alone says something is not right in the club inherently. Because even at the moment with Liverpool, where they're going through, he's just won you the Premier League. He's got credit in the bank. You would have thought Andrew had a bit of it.
That credit's running out.
Yeah,
that's
quickly.
He's not been topping up.
No,
and he's not topped up.
100%.
And that credit he's on his last, few quid.
Well, with Thomas Frank, he's come into a place where it's difficult. Conte, Mourinho, Ange Postecoglou, Nuno, all of these people have been through the same situation. And we're now how many games into the Premier League? And that discussion, we can see we've got a split fan base. It is really, really bad at the moment with Spurs. And I don't know what's going to make things better. Sacking Thomas Frank is not the answer, in my opinion.
No.
He's a good manager. He needs time to impose his his style and philosophies. He needs his players back. You know, I think, and again, even Ange Postecoglou last season, the amount of injuries we had, you have to feel for him. Like, when Spurs have a fully fit squad, then you can really assess and judge a manager. Until that point, he's got to make do with
the players you got out. Was it really going to make a massive difference?
I just think in terms of a bit more fight, a bit more energy. Kulusevski, 100% for me. Kulusevski was one of our better players last season. It was a big loss and a big blow. I don't know. There's a lot to talk about. 03717 223344. There are so many Spurs fans calling us. But Fulham, your first away win of the season. I've not heard from you. I've only heard from one Fulham fan. That's Example. And he's messaged me giving it to Bazza. He's come off stage at the O2, isn't he? Been supporting JLS tonight. Last gig of the tour. And he's like, oh, football's good tonight, wasn't it? Thanks, El. 03717 223344. So much to digest after Spurs lose at home once again. And Mr. Frank has been thanked in his thoughts about people that have been booing his number one. It's the Sports Bar Weekender. Give us a call.
Dear Kitman, we see you, we appreciate your work. While some fans reckon it's just hanging up shirts in dressing rooms, we know it's so much more. A football team's kit is its identity, its uniform, what sets it out from the rest. But it doesn't clean itself. That's not just the shirts, it's the shorts, the socks, the training gear, the boots, the other bits we sort out behind closed doors. Who's the one digging around in that smelly, stinky laundry basket at full time? Yeah, it's the kit man. They have a lot to work on in a week, from laundry, fixing damaged kit, repairing holes, cleaning boots. Then they pack the van and take everything they need off to the stadium, ready for game day. They don't get a lot of help when they get in the ground too. Kitmen are the ones unloading a full squad's worth of boots, kit, medical bags, and all the bits the players and coaches will need between the start of the day and switching off the floodlights at the end of the day. First thing they do is organise each player's kit, make it easily accessible in order to avoid any dramas on match day. Once everything's in the right place, it's into the dressing room, lay everything out, put players' nameplates on the right locker, all the things you don't even think about on a match day. Once the players arrive, if anything needs doing, they call the kit man. In the meantime, it's on the kit man to help set up for the warm-up. The coaches don't always have time to lay out all the cones and put the balls in those weird triangle piles you see. As the warm-up is underway, the kit man then becomes a glorified ball boy, chasing stray shots and passes, making sure they aren't lost in the crowds. They eventually do the tidying up too, getting everything off the pitch before kick-off and assist the ground staff with any last-minute things they may need. After that, it's last call for the players. Then, at kick-off, they can breathe a sigh of relief for a few minutes, sit back and watch the game, enjoy the fruits of their labour. At half-time, check everyone's okay and everything's as it should be, and then wait for full-time. Once the final whistle's gone, it's time to pack everything down, get the stuff that needs to be washed in the laundry, pack up the van, back to the training ground, and ready to do it again next week. Of course, each club differs, and different staff members will have different responsibilities, but we pay tribute to all of those who do.
It's the Sports Bar Weekender here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, and former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant, as we reflect on Tottenham losing once again at home. Newcastle with an incredible away victory that we'll talk about as well as previewing the big one tomorrow, the clash of the Titans, as Chelsea host the number one right now, the best team in Europe, Arsenal, at Stamford Bridge. As a massive game tomorrow, and we'll be previewing that. Luke Henry will be joining us, broadcaster, huge Arsenal fan. He's always in some kind of Arsenal top when I see him. But he's got Arsenal pyjamas, Luke. 03717223344. But the phone lines are open. The switchboard's gone crazy this evening. We've also had so many messages coming through as well. 03717223344. It's the Sports Bar Weekender here on talkSPORT. Right, it is the Sports Bar Weekend. Yeah, right. We got so many messages coming through. Let's go straight to Ashley. He was at the game today. How are we, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. How are you, Madge?
Madge is having a meltdown, Ashley. So you need to help him out.
Listen, I'm not having a meltdown.
Yeah, you are, pal.
No, I've said, right?
No.
I agree with Thomas Frank, like booing play. I don't boo players, yeah? But I think to come out and say that you're not a true Spurs fan after we've seen some of the performances at home, it's just not going to bode well for a man that I want to do well.
Just accept it, mate. You're not a true Spurs fan.
We've been there for years. We're the ones who've been there for years, paying all this money with our season tickets, and it's like.
And I know Chris. Ash, I know Chris said, "Listen, if you don't want to pay it, then don't go." It's not that. We're addicted to this. This is our love. Like this is what we do.
It is.
What, boo your fans?
It's a passion, isn't it?
Boo your players?
When you feel that passionate about it. But I kind of agree with the player booing. Do you remember a few years back, Davinson Sanchez?
Oh, God, yeah, it was bad. Bless him.
He got booed massively, didn't he?
I never did that.
So, individual players booing during the game, I don't know if I agree with that.
No way.
Yeah. At the end of the game, I've been to every game this season, and it's like, every game at home, it's just becoming so draining. It's like there's no urgency from the players. Who do you point the blame at? Who do you point the blame at?
Well, this is the thing. I think it runs deeper than just managers. Conte got it spot on after that Southampton game when we was 3-1 up. It was just like there is this underbelly of us that is, and this is why we had the word Spursy, and we was hoping after that victory in Bilbao that we got rid of that word and that phrasing. Now, I hate to bring it to Arsenal, but they're playing tomorrow. They've got a big game, and they've been absolute. Arsenal this week could have battered Spurs in the North London derby, beat Bayern Munich, and maybe beat Chelsea, right? And I always hark back to when we beat them 3-0 to get the top 4 place. They went to Newcastle and they lost. I think Callum Wilson scored. Since then, what they did was they kept improving. They got rid of players. Ramsdale, for me, in Arsenal, he was such a key component for bringing that Arsenal team forward. He made the fans fall in love with him again because he had a bit about him, but he had mistakes in him. He even said in an interview, I can't concentrate for 90 minutes. What did Arteta do? Identified that, got Raya in, no feelings. Vicario is not good enough. He is a decent keeper 70% of the time.
Is a good keeper, but what I'm saying, there's too many mistakes in there. He's a good keeper, great shot stopper, and you'll come off a game and think, wow, he got man of the match, he did some amazing stuff. But then there's some games where he's throwing balls in the back of the net, or he's making a mistake and you're losing a game. Over a season, if you're making, 10, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. So all that good he's doing is getting outshone by the mistakes.
I think we overrate him as a shot stopper as well, because he can't save nothing outside the 18-yard box.
Yeah, there was a goal.
Last few weeks.
Yeah, that goal from outside the box, the Villa goal, wasn't it? And it was like, it was Ramsey's goal.
Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, Morgan Rogers. Sorry, it's Morgan Rogers' goal. That was oh wow, but it was quite central, and he shouldn't have got beaten when you looked at it again. And you know what? Troy Deeney messages me, and Troy Deeney's was like, "What's your keeper?" That's an issue. And every time it happens, I message him tonight. He was like, "But Ash, my thing is, what do we do? Where do we go from here?" I'm not. Are you saying Frank out? Because I'm not saying Thomas Frank out.
No, it's too early to say Frank out.
Yeah.
It's too early to say Frank out. But it's deeper than that. It's like what you said there about Arteta identifying an issue and rectifying that issue. If you go back to Champions League final, there was a couple of years prior to that where we were neck and neck with Liverpool, if not better, slightly. Champions League final, they crack on, we don't. It's the same thing over and over again. It feels like we never do what we need to do when we need to do it. That's how I feel.
I just think that, again...
Even Pochettino, you go back to Poch, like, why would you not invest in that team? I was watching videos on my phone from going to games at the Lane, White Hart Lane, that atmosphere, that feeling. I don't know. I miss that.
I know. I hear you, actually, and it's been very difficult to replicate that at the new stadium, in my opinion.
If you don't build on your team, if you don't, start getting stronger, you will get left behind.
Yes.
Everybody is identifying what they need, where the weaknesses in their team, and they're bringing better players. Spurs at the moment are just bringing in players, spending. It's not like they're not spending money. They spent 150 million this transfer window, 60 on Xavi Simons, 60 on Kudos.
Yeah.
So they are spending, but they're just not getting it right.
No, because, for example, the right thing to do would have done Eze deal, nice and early, 65 million. For the sake of £5 million, because Xavi Simons, I'm not writing off as a football player. There's something about him. But that Premier League, you've played in it. You're getting buoyed off the ball.
It's a different beast to the Bundesliga. Every league in Europe is.
You played in the Liga?
I played in the Liga, and it was so much easier. You get a little bit more time. You're not getting defenders kicking you in row Z. It's totally different. And also you got the Gibbs White madness. You could have had players. You could do it. It's just there's something about Spurs when it comes to purchasing the right talent, the right players. They're very reluctant.
Well, it's always landed on Daniel Levy's door. That can't happen anymore because he's not there. So let's see what happens in January, right? When you've still got a chance to save your season, and it's going to be hard to do business in January as well. Let's go to Gary, who's another Tottenham fan. How are we, Gary?
Evening, gents.
Mate, a bad
Saturday. Good evening.
Do you know what? When I saw 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night against Fulham at home, it had stinker written all over it, didn't it? Oh, have we lost Gary?
Yeah, you don't want to know. Gary just does not want to know.
All right, let's go straight to Danny then. Danny, you all right, mate?
Hello. Oh, Gary, you all right?
Oh, well, I've had better Saturday nights.
Can hear you.
Yeah, I can't believe it, right? What we need is Premier League ready players.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what we need. I'm fed up with all this European players that we bought. They're they're basically not good enough. You look at the other team, you look at Fulham, all the players that they bought is all Premier League ready players, and they got the experience to beat us, and they did. I knew before the game that they were going to destroy us. I just knew it. I had a feeling that to be honest, I was hoping for a draw, and we got a loss.
But should you really be hoping for a draw at home to Fulham? Should you really be hoping for a draw?
Because in the last 3 games we've lost to them. We keep losing to Fulham recently. There's no reason for us to go and beat Fulham. And as Danny's saying...
The past 5 games?
Yeah.
And past 5 or 6 games?
Yeah.
Where have we been?
Well, the thing is, Danny, you're right in saying that, because even down to like Jimenez, yeah, comes from Wolves, he can do it in the Premier League. Like, buying strikers and players that we bought Richarlison, he's supposed to be Premier League proven.
Richarlison, he gets it down from you boys.
But he's
from you boys.
I know, but he scored 3 in the last 4, so you can't even knock him. I don't know, Danny, I don't know what the answer is. Can you give me an answer, please? What would you do? You take over Spurs tonight. What's the first thing you do?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you exactly what I do. I do what Ferguson did in the 90s. Buy Premier League ready players that are ready right now today. Like, for instance, you buy they get the Bournemouth guy in. Yeah, what's his name? Semenyo?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll get him in. Bang, straight away. Bang. Great. Right, on cheap as well, because he's like well cheap right now for Palace. Bang, another one. I'll get half of the Palace side in.
But, the Palace side are 18th in the Conference League.
The thing you've got there, though,
I'll get all them players in.
The thing you've got here, if you go and get Semenyo, look, the other big hitters are coming in. Man City may be interested. Liverpool...
No, but now's the time, because they don't need... see Manchester City, Liverpool, even Arsenal, right now, they don't need Semenyo. I think they're oversubscribed.
I beg to differ with Liverpool.
Yeah, but you've just done half a billion. You're not going to go spend.
They've got money in the bank. Gay, if you wanted to get Gay, which is, okay, good defender, Liverpool want him. So you've also got competition from bigger teams.
But that's why
they will choose.
But that's why, for example, that's why the Eze deal, when there's a possibility, you got to get it before.
You should have made that concrete. You should have gone a little 5 million more.
Yep.
So Arsenal couldn't come in, get the deal done.
Yeah,
but you're not proactive.
No,
and it's costing Spurs
big time,
week in, week out, season after season.
Right, we're still to come. We're going to be previewing Chelsea against Arsenal. The phone lines are still open, though. Lots of you on the way home from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'd like to hear from a Fulham fan. 03 717 22 4 as Fulham get their first away win of the season. Spurs slump at home again.
Step up to the Oki and win on talkSPORT.
That's right, we are closing in on the talkSPORT Darts Presenter Trophy 2025, which will not be caught up to for the third time, now in its third year, where 8 of talkSPORT's biggest names go head-to-head of the PDC World Darts Championship kickoff. And this year, you and a mate could be right there with us. You'll be the only members of the public allowed in on Wednesday, the 10th of December in London. 2 seats, 2 insiders passes. A true money can't buy experience for the ultimate talkSPORT fan. The very next day, you'll also be heading to the opening day at the PDC World Darts Championship. Plus, we'll sort 2 nights hotel stay and a massive £2,500 in cash for your chance to win. Text the word WIN to 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate. Or call us on 0343 4239 761. Lines close 4 p.m. next Thursday. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK excluded, Northern Ireland. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. Right, let's head to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Declan McCarthy is with the joyful Fulham manager Marco Silva.
Marco, thank you for joining us on your 200th game as Fulham boss. Congratulations tonight. Fantastic scenes with the fans after the game. 3 wins in 4 now. What did you make of your team's efforts tonight?
Great win. The best way to end a milestone that make me to be proud of everything. Great memories, but let's go for more. And the next one is always the most important. Celebration the end of the game with the players there, but now we have to move on and start to think and look forward for the next one. Is going to be very tight, the time to recover and to prepare the game next Tuesday against City at home. Big win, well-deserved win as well. What a first half from us, of course, being clinical, the way we started the game. First 10 minutes being leading the game by 2 goals was very important for us, boost our confidence definitely. But the first half was a very good level. We should have scored more, probably killed the game. Some big chances from Chuku to kill the game, other good moments from us. And we did control very well them. Our organization was good. We didn't give anything for them first half. Second half, reaction from them, but we should have done better. That is the thing. I think we probably suffered too much for the way you prepared them for the second half. From the kickoff, we didn't start well the game second half, and we suffer more because the goal boosts them, definitely. When you start to change and make some changes, the team start to be comfortable again and start to control better themselves. And we went the game better second half than we started second half. Overall, looking to the game, of course, we are the best team on the pitch, and we deserve to win the game.
You mentioned that second half from Spurs, the reaction. They were always going to do that. I suppose the team had to show real character in the second half.
Definitely. We showed the resilience, we showed the character, we showed the personality in the organization in some moments. It was an important moment for some leaders to step in. We needed that. The players, they know it. That type of games, we need leaders. We need this type of moments to keep the emotional balance, to keep there everything that we needed. Quality from Spurs. We knew that it was important for them to don't score the 2-1. They did it, and of course boost the stadium, boost their confidence. Thomas put some more players in the front line, but I think we did control well themselves after the 75 minutes of the game. The key for us was to keep more the possession. The key for us was to keep some passes, to give some passes between us. We knew that if you give some passes, we are going to keep creating problems for them. We are not able to do it, and it was more difficult for a second half, but the team showed the resilience and the characters inside.
That was Fulham manager Marco Silva very happily speaking to Declan McCarthy ahead of his team's first away win of the season. Listen, I always say this on this show. The number is 037172244, and if you want to call us about anything or any team, you can, and that is the direction of the show. So to my lovely text here saying 2316 and all of that is Spurs. That's because our phone lines are full of angry Spurs fans who are fuming, and some people
and having a meltdown.
Yeah. Let's see what Liam's feeling like. How are we, Liam?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I wanted to talk about the booing of Vicario and actually give some context to that. So we weren't booing at the fact that he then, he had the only XG in the first half with his attempt to clear the ball and passed it to one of the Fulham midfielders. We're actually booing about his reaction of berating his defence after his own mistake. Absolute lunacy from the goalkeeper. Outrageous behaviour. And it's just not fair on the rest of his team when that goal was his fault. Absolutely ridiculous, right?
Yes.
And then let's talk about Frank then coming out and telling us that, we're not real Spurs fans for doing that. Well, let's talk about the fact we've only had 10 shots on average, and that's less than 4 shots on target on average this season since he's been on charge. Some of the lowest XG that has ever been seen at the Tottenham Hotspur football ground. Outrageous comments from Thomas Frank after coming out. I'm not saying you should boo your own players. That's not fair. But what we're seeing at the moment, it feels like we've got an Ange Postecoglou team at the back, but absolutely zero in attack. And it is tragic to be watching.
Do you know what? There's someone on X, I thought, called Billy T, right? And they said Ange managed Spurs like they were the best team in the world, and it cost him because we weren't. Thomas Frank manages us like we're Brentford, and it's not working because we aren't. I know which I prefer, but probably a little middle ground is sensible.
Is it not time to just manage expectations and just understand where you are? As in the days of Son and Kane, they're long gone. And now you are probably just a middle table team at the moment. You guys finished 17th last season. Yes, it was a horrendous season, but you've not gone out and bought 6, 7 great players. You've bought Xavi Simons and you've bought Kudos. That is not, and a new manager. A manager alone is not going to make this team better. And those 2 players are not going to make the team better. So is it not time to just accept that, look, throughout this season, yeah, we may win some, but we're also going to lose a lot. And
but
stop
not in the
thinking that we're this top 4 team, we're one of the big 6, because you're not. At the moment, Spurs are not. Spurs are fighting to get in the top half of the table.
What do you make of that, Liam?
Yeah, well, look, we've spent £60 million on Xavi Simons. Let's not forget that. And he's not been played in the last 3 games when we're screaming for something creative. I understand those points, but we have actually backed managers consistently. There's nothing that we don't spend. Maybe we should be looking at lower league. Yeah, fine. Maybe we should be looking at some great players from the Championship. We have bought some players that are meant to be serious talents. And then we haven't actually gone and given them the game time needed. Tell, sitting on the bench, meant to be one of the best prospects in Europe, by the way, not being touched.
But Liam, what I would say to that is, if he was that good, Bayern Munich wouldn't have let him go. Even with Xavi Simons, if he was that good, they wouldn't have let him go.
Fine and dandy, but why are we then purchasing them not to put them on the pitch? That's all good, yeah. But if people want to sell them, if any team wants to sell, is that player bad? Clearly
No, of course not. Look at Cole Palmer, for example.
Exactly this. There are a chance of getting a gem. And Xavi Simons and Tell could have been those gems, but we're not going to find out if they're going to sit on the bench rotting consistently. We need to give some of these players a decent bite of the cherry. And that's it at the end of the day for me.
Brilliant, cool. Thank you very much, Liam. Let's go to Matt. Going to squeeze in as many Spurs fans as we can, as well as Fulham fans, if they want to call us. How are we, Matt?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Nice to speak to you again. Mate, let's get to the crux of everything, yeah?
Yeah.
That Vicario, yeah? And I hope he's listening because he's on his way home because I saw him shoot past. I hope he's listening because he I'll tell you what, that guy I hope he's on about 10 grand a week because that's not even a figure for him. He's not even worth £5 a week. The guy is so poor. He's horse manure, that guy. And he's got the front.
75 grand a week to bring
mate, 75, right. This guy has got the front to think he's some top goalkeeper to go and spin that ball with his left foot. And Udogie, don't get me wrong, Udogie's not the greatest, but Udogie then thinks, what's going on here? And then Harry Wilson gets the ball, pings it in the guy, and he's got the front to have a go at the guy. And then Thomas Frank, that guy, that Brentford, I don't even know what else to call him, right? These are all the casts off from that parasite that put all these people at our football club. He's the one that's done all this damage. This is all the damage now. And he's got the front to turn around and say it's a disgrace to boo him. Doesn't he realise how many people travel hours to come to this stadium to support this football team?
Matt, the people that sit next to me on my season ticket, they're from Leicester.
Mate, they pay so much money for travel, for food, and he's got the front to turn around and say it's a disgrace. No, he's a disgrace, mate. He's a disgrace. But you know what? The credit I give him is he shouldn't even be here. And he was brought here off the back of that parasite. And the problem we got is that guy He's a mercenary, just like the rest of them. Just like your Richarlisons, your Bentancurs, your Sars, your Udogis, your every single one of them players, they're mercenaries because they're getting 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 grand a week. And do you know what? I'm going to have a lovely weekend now. They don't give two hoots of what's going to happen to the football club. So the message now is Vivian and Charlie, you need to make sure you do the right thing. And the right thing is, in my book, the football club is cancerous from top to bottom right now, and it ain't going to change with them. So do the right thing. Please sell this football club to someone who's going to invest in the right way to get this football club, do you know what, to a normality. Let's just say normality, not an embarrassment. Not an embarrassment that we are, week in, week out, that a club like Fulham, who hasn't got an away win, with their 3,000 fans walking on Park Lane singing "Can We Play You" every week. This is what we need to change at the football club.
Matt, you have to see the response afterwards, so you get to see it firsthand. What was the energy like amongst the Spurs fans on the way home?
There's no energy. There's no energy. We're deflated.
Yeah.
We need a change. We need a change, and the change has to happen as soon as possible to give this football club a chance to get back to normality. And you know what? I said to you last week that we're a big club. Do you know what? I don't even know what we are right now. That's the reality, and it's just a joke what this football club is in it right now because of these owners. And do you know what? The only credit I give Vivian right now, because she's proved it, is getting rid of that parasite, because he was the problem. But you know what? In January, she might go out and spend 100, 200 million and start doing what Chelsea's done. If she does, and she brings in, and I'm not talking just a Semenyo, we need a goalkeeper for a start. That's a start. We need a centre-half, we need a left-back, we need a right-back, we need a sitting proper midfielder, we need a left-sided player, we need a right-sided player, we need a number 10, and we need a striker.
That sounds to me like basically you need a brand new whole squad. That sounds like getting a lot of deadwood out and a lot of signings coming in.
Listen, great calls, always great to speak to you, Matt. I'm sure I'll see you up Spurs on my way in with my son. He owns a couple of the burger stalls up there.
Yeah, so he has a left back, right back, number 10, centre back, goalkeeper, defensive mid. That's basically the whole squad.
Right. 03717 223344. There are so many calls still coming in. But we're going to be previewing Chelsea and Arsenal as broadcaster and Arsenal fan Luke Henry joins us in the studio. It's talkSPORT.
deal. And that is a special result for Chelsea, who lead Barcelona.
If Arsenal go and win it, what a statement that is, their last 3 games.
Martinelli is clear. Can he round it off? He does!
Now there's a real belief that they can go that one step further.
Now we have to go to the next one. That's where we are. We knew the importance of the week.
It's a scintillating goal from the boy wonder, Esteval.
Do I think they win the Premier League? No, I don't think they win the Premier League. I think it'll be a fascinating insight into how good they can be against Arsenal.
I mean, we compete always. Then sometimes we are able to win, sometimes we are not able to win. But it's important thing that we compete against any team.
Calafiori, that's a brilliant cross, and it's turned in! Van Wijk!
Can't see anyone catching them, and looking at the teams who are chasing, no one showing the kind of quality, consistency that's needed.
And it goes down tomorrow at 4:30. Arsenal head to Stamford Bridge as Chelsea taking Arsenal, and the full fallout from that will be on The Final Word with me and Mr. Alan Pardew from 6:30 tomorrow. Imagine when I got the call in the week. Man, did you fancy doing the sports bar Saturday night? I was like, yeah, Spurs are going to lose to Fulham and embarrass themselves. And then you're going to have Luke up here waxing lyrical about how the Arsenal package. That's selling me as an Arsenal fan almost. That's a great package. Great. Did you do that? Yeah, of course you did it. That package was superb, mate, right? So we are joined in the studio by one of our colleagues, a broadcaster and Arsenal fan, Luke Henry. Do you know what, Luke? I just really quickly, just make me feel a little bit better because, you know, over the last few years, every time I come see you in work, we've seen this process of Arsenal building, and you were there when Arteta first came in, and you was like, we've got to stick with him, and you was very headstrong. We've got to stick with something here. Paying off now for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all live in a world where we want things to happen quickly, but in football it's different. And I know it's quite, hypocritical to say we want results, but you have to give the manager time. You have to see something. Like, I remember when Arteta came in for the first 3 games, I remember off the top of my head, it was Bournemouth away at the Vitality at that time. We had 16 shots. Then it was Chelsea where we lost 2-1. But we played so well in the first half that Frank Lampard had to make a change. I believe that was when we saw Tariq Lamptey come on for the first time and we lost the game. But the atmosphere at the Emirates, and then 3 days later on New Year's Day, we beat Manchester United 2-0. And that was when you were like, right, there's something with this manager. And also he had a connection with the football club, which does help. And that's what Thomas Frank probably needs to do. But Thomas Frank is one of the best tactical managers in the Premier League. He's coming into a massive club like Tottenham for massive expectations. You know it better than me. I don't know what Spurs' expectations are this season, but you have to give the guy time. It was only, 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago when you challenged PSG in the Super Cup. You went to Manchester City, which I felt quite sorry for him because you have such a good record against Manchester City. So people didn't give him the credit.
He didn't make anything of it, yeah.
So you just need to give the guy some time. And it's not his squad. And also, with what's going on behind the scenes with Daniel Levy, I'm not sure if he knew that when he took the job.
No.
If it's Levy's guy, now Levy's not going to be here, then, but he's been there 5 minutes. For me, it's almost like when we talk about Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. I've always been quite consistent in how I felt about that. Do not judge him for a year. That guy didn't want to come in. He wanted to come in at the end of the season and start his thing. Thomas Frank's had a summer, but he's had one window. Let him have his plays that he wants and let him build something.
Because then you could be in a situation like Arsenal are, where they absolutely batter Spurs in the North London derby, convincingly beat Bayern Munich, and could go to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge on Sunday, where we'll be reacting to it on talkSPORT, and get another famous derby victory. How confident are you going into it?
I am very confident, and I think what makes this game special is that Chelsea fans I've spoken to are confident. Arsenal fans are very confident, which makes for a really good game of football. Sometimes you have to watch this team and you don't want to get carried away, when you watch it. But the Bayern Munich result was mightily impressive, purely because in the first half, I didn't think Arsenal were actually as good as we can be.
Yeah.
And then you see in the second half, we raised the level and we kind of blew them away. Spurs, I know Frank's been getting loads of negativity for the way he set up, but he was only 8 minutes away from getting in at 0-0 at half-time, and it's a different conversation. But we had to find a way to break you down. And we did. And then once we got going, we didn't look like we could be stopped. So, it's a really good time for Arsenal to be an Arsenal fan. We are a very, very good team. We've got some quality off the bench as well, loads of depth. Odegaard's coming back now, so it'll be interesting tomorrow. Still think he'll be on the bench because he's just come back, so I think Eze will be in the 10. So if it's not working on the pitch, we've got options off the bench. But, it's still technically really early, but it's nice to put down a marker tomorrow. And it's been dubbed statement week, this, right? It's been statement against Spurs, statement against Bayern. can we make it a hat-trick and a statement against Chelsea?
If you go to Chelsea and you don't get the result, you do lose.
Okay.
Would that put doubts in your mind about, are we really as good as we are? Or would you think, do you know what, it's just one of those, one result, but we are still doing great and we're still going to go and win the league?
Yeah, it depends.
Or is that going to put, we could be in for a tight season?
It depends how the game is played. You know, if Chelsea outclass us, I won't be coming on here or be saying I don't think we're going to win the league. It's just how we respond. You know, that was the same question that got flirted with us straight after the Sunderland draw. You know, Sunderland played very well in that game and we drew, and then it was like, oh, City beat Liverpool 3-0, and it was like, oh, watch your shoulders, check your shoulders, you might be in a title race now. And all of a sudden, City don't look convincing today, but they've won the game against Newcastle, they lost. So, you know, the Premier League is crazy. I've always said that the Premier League, no matter what team there is, there's so much quality in there. You only have to look at the table right now.
Anyone can beat anyone.
Fulham are currently 6 points behind Chelsea. I'm not saying Fulham are in any competition to go challenge for the Champions League, but that just shows you have to be on your game. Even today, you know, you see Everton put on a really good performance in at Old Trafford with 10 men. If you're not at your game today, at home or away,
every team has a player that can punish you.
Every team.
And where's the players in Chelsea that you're looking at and you're worried about? There's a few names I'm looking at.
Well, you know, when you speak to Chelsea fans, they do like to tell me that Reece James is better than Jurriën Timber and Moses Caicedo is the best midfielder in the world, let alone the Premier League, and Marc Cucurella is probably the best left-back at the moment in time, and they've got Cole Palmer. So those are the four names you look at. Obviously, there's this young wonder kid called Esteval, not Esteval. So Estepao. But again, Chelsea fans not sure. The opponents I've spoke to say he might not start. But listen, look, I know the quality Chelsea have. I don't know, again, whether they're in the title race because they seem to hide behind the fact, even though they're second, they're not sure if they can sustain it with consistency. But I know the quality they have, and I know the quality we have. I think, you know, Declan Rice obviously gets a mention, but I think for me, I've always looked at Martin Zubimendi this season. I think he's been unbelievable, the way he's come in and really taken our midfield to a new level. And you know, recently, not because he got a hat-trick in the North London derby, but Eze has had moments this season. There's one thing Arsenal have lacked over the last couple of seasons, just having a moments player. I'm not talking about having to be brilliant for 80 minutes, but the assist against City, the ball over the top for Martinelli, the same he did for...
Even against Newcastle when it was tight, there was...
But even in Newcastle in that first 30 minutes, you could just watch him and go, wow, he's been brilliant. And he's just slowly coming into his own. And it's a very exciting prospect. He might even play on the left tomorrow and Odegaard might start. You know, Madueke to come off the bench. You know, there's a story. You know, Mourinho scored this season against his former club. Rice has scored this season against his former club. Eze the same against his former club. Who's to say Noni Madueke doesn't put his name in a little bit of Arsenal history and score against his former club? It would be nice. But it's going to be a brilliant game.
On the flip side, if you go and win this game and it's a comfortable victory, is that all and said and done that you've won the league?
No,
that the league should be wrapped up.
Absolutely.
You've been top at Christmas a few times.
Absolutely,
and not won the league,
categorically not. It means absolutely nothing if we don't follow it up with a win against Brentford on Wednesday night, who look very tough. Then you've got Aston Villa at 12:30 next Saturday.
Which are a bit of your bogey team of late.
We seem to do quite well at Villa Park, but then we seem to... But look...
And Harley Watkins just comes and haunts you.
Yeah, but at the Emirates, it's this one's at Villa Park, so recent history suggests we can be all right. But Villa and Unai Emery, there's always that little Emery Arteta. No,
Villa are dangerous. You never know which Villa turn up.
Exactly. Villa are a very good side. But like I said, after Villa, I believe it's Wolves. Now, you know, who's to say, like we saw you lot play Wolves, and Wolves...
Don't use us as a beacon.
But you know what? Stranger things have happened. Who thought City were going to be at 2-2 today at Leeds? You know, I'm not saying, you just never know. You know games won on paper, but then it's Leeds, then it's Everton, this place. Look, I've always said that we've got, on paper, it's a nice run of games in this Christmas period. If we win tomorrow, then you look at that and go, if you want to win the Premier League, you have to take maximum points. But football's not played like that. We've got Champions League games in there. We've got Crystal Palace in the League Cup to think about as well. But what I love about this team right now is if Chelsea do win tomorrow, they put a right shift in and they'll probably deserve to win it because we won't give anyone anything. You know, you have to really fight to play in the game with Arsenal. And that's the nicest thing I can say about
Unlike Dr. Spurs, who like to gift people things.
And actually, yeah, that's the thing. And Arteta...
Play Spurs, you get 3 points. So we've got them in a few weeks. So lovely.
When you pop down to the Spurs Stadium, get yourself your first win of the season away from home. Yeah, it's just... But again, you know, I've been saying it all week, and I've actually had quite a lot of compliments from Arsenal fans this week because on our Inside Spurs podcast, I was just very rational in my thinking. We're playing against a side who has been, how long has he been in now? 5 or 6 seasons?
It's coming up to 6 years, 2019.
2019, right? You've seen it. As I said, I mentioned earlier in the show, Ramsdale, I think, should take a lot of credit with your fans and engage in your fan. But your fan base were done with Arsenal. you lot now are dancing in tunnels and stuff after winning, like ultras, yeah? And I thought Ramsdale was one of those people who used to turn around to the crowd, he'd get them hype, and he wasn't good enough to go to the next level when, like, you're not gifting mistakes. And you go and get one of the best keepers in the league.
And you know, you touch on that. It's so much more because like some people, you know, we all look at football on the pitch, but there's so much more that goes off the scenes. You talk about the connection, the passion. You know, you want the players to buy in, and you have to be ruthless at the same time. Even if you talk about your manager and your players, I still remember when I thought Kieran Tierney and Takahiro and Tomiyasu. I go back to that 21-22 season. I thought, well, we've got, you know, I thought about pairing for 10 years, and then Ben White and then Zinchenko come in, and I think, Zinchenko's and now they've been replaced even more. And there's always a level within a level. There's always building, but you've always got to be on the same page. And that's the beauty now. No Arsenal fan will tell you that we're not in a title race, or we're not going for major trophies, or we're not going for titles. We all know we're in it. The club is saying the same thing. The manager knows what he has to achieve to get there. But it's just about getting over the line.
Yeah, every part of the club's reflecting that, though, JP.
Yeah, no, the good thing about Arsenal is that they've kept their key main core players. Like with Liverpool, they've lost some solid players. Diaz, very important. We talk about Nunes, but he was Mr. Chaos. You know, you bring him on again. And obviously the late Diego Jota, you know, God rest his soul. Some key players. With Arsenal, they've kept their core and they've added quality. Each transfer window, they've slowly added quality.
And they brought you through as well. And like, for example, Saka's the one that you look at and go, they've built around him, it almost feels like, as well as bringing some of the youngest through as well, who are actually getting chances.
And you know, you mentioned
Max Downing's the next one,
and you touched on Saka there. You know, as an Arsenal fan, 2 years ago, 1-1 at home to Bayern Munich with 70 minutes on the clock. You're taking him off. There's no Arsenal fan panicking because Madueke goes on to the right, Gabriel Martinelli goes on the left. You've still got Martin Odegaard was on the bench at that time, and Eze's at the number 10. And you're looking around and going, that's serious depth, that's serious competition. That is a football club that wants to compete on all four competitions. Easier said than done, of course. But I've always said it, I've been quite, you know, steadfast in this. You can never get too high and you can never get too low in football.
You going to win the league?
I think we're going to win the league, yeah. I've said that. I've said that ever since the Newcastle game when I was there at St James's Park. That was the day I thought...
A turning moment for you.
Yeah, because there was something about that, not being happy with a point. It was, when Marino scored, it was like, we've still got 10 minutes to finish this job. Whereas some fans were going, oh, Liverpool lost, Liverpool take them, do you know what I mean? But that's when the mentality, and Declan Rice, just said it earlier in the week, he said there's an anger with the players. You know, there's an anger between them because of being so close over the line and not getting over the line. And that's all about, it's the mentality. If you've got to feel it in there first, if you really, really want it to go, you've got to deliver it on the pitch.
Thank you. And score prediction for tomorrow, really?
Let's go 2-1. Let's go Eze. And let's go Madueke. I've said that all week, so I might as well.
Cheers, Luke. You've been lucky, JP. You've avoided all the Liverpool talk until now. Right, coming up, we're going to be previewing the rest of Sunday's games. It is the Sports Bar Weekend here at talkSPORT. Good evening, it's the Sports Bar Weekender here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, and former Liverpool winger Jermaine Pennant. As we look ahead to tomorrow's games, of course, Crystal Palace take on Manchester United at midday live on talkSPORT. Coverage begins from 11 a.m. It's an early start tomorrow for Adrian and the gang. Aston Villa against Wolves at 2:05 and Nottingham Forest against Brighton at 2:05. Straight kick-off times. And, of course, we have got the big one at 4:30, which is Chelsea against Arsenal, which I'll be reacting to on the Final Word phone-in. And, of course, your game against West Ham. Yep. It's a big weekend. Let's start Crystal Palace against United. Who do you wins in that game? Selhurst Park.
Difficult place to go. I think I'm seeing a draw. I'm seeing a 1-1 draw in this one. They're good at home. They make it very difficult. Man United, no, they can be great and they can be absolutely awful. And I think this game, I just see a draw.
Yeah. Midlands derby, Villa, Wolves.
Wolves are struggling.
Yeah, and Villa are going from strength to strength.
I'm going 2-0 Aston Villa.
Who are you starting up top?
You've got to start Marlon. Yeah. You've got to. He's the man in form at the minute. Watkins is only 2 goals in 17 appearances. So that's not good enough for your main vocal.
I think he might be looking for an exit in January if he doesn't play, though.
Well, he would do because
World Cup season.
He wants to play. He's a guy who's played all his career and not come off the bench or being a bench player. So yeah, absolutely, of course, especially when it's a World Cup year as well.
And then Dicey, of course, flying after that 3-0 victory against Malmo. He was on air on Thursday after that. They take on Brighton. It's going to be a tough game. Yeah, it is a tough game. But I think the last time they played Brighton, they got smashed 7. But that was at their City ground. Dicey's got them playing like the old Forest, like Nuno had the playing. So I think that's going to be, it's a tough one. But I'm going to go Forest. I'm going to go Forest 2-1. And obviously, let's talk about your boys. If you don't win at the... he has to win. Okay, so if he doesn't win, he goes straight after the game. I won't say straight after the game, but they will be looking for his replacement. It will be just a little matter of time, regardless of how things go in the next few games. They'll be trying to find his replacement if he doesn't get a result at West Ham. I think I've seen or rumoured is that he's got 2 games to save his job. A draw? Good enough? No. A draw won't be good enough. So I think he has to win. This first game has to win. If it goes to Brighton, we'll see then Sunderland, you're expected to win there. But yeah, if he does not win this game against West Ham tomorrow, I think his job will be, numbered. I think they will be looking at his replacement. And what about in terms of West Ham and sort of their bounce back? A massive win against Newcastle in November at home. They won 3-1. Then, of course, a win against Burnley at home. Then they had a draw at Bournemouth. They're going to be confident going into this. No, of course they're going to be confident because they're coming up against a team who are absolutely struggling. Yeah. And he's going to be saying to his players, listen, we're at home. These guys, are up against it. They're struggling. They're not all at one. They're, they can't buy win at the moment. No. Let's get at them. This is our best opportunity. And I think the early days of Nuno's tenure at West Ham was all scratching heads and thinking, oh, can he actually turn it around because the results were going against him? But now he's, stamped his authority and got his team playing the way he wants them to play, like at Forest, and they look solid again. And like youngsters like Freddie Potts coming through and stuff. That's the West Ham way, innit? Exactly. So, this is going to be a tough game for Liverpool because of where they're at. If you'd have said this last season, everyone's expecting, this is going to be walkover. A whooping. A whooping. Easy 3 points for Liverpool, but right now, it's in dangerous territory. Well, I'll be reacting to that tomorrow, of course, from 6:30 here on talkSPORT, alongside the former West Ham gaffer, Alan Partridge. Jermaine, thank you. It's not the best way to spend our Saturday night with Spurs. I'd prefer spending it with you in Coco and Garage Nation. That'd be more fun. That'd be nice, especially if Liverpool win. Right, thank you very much. Don't forget, coming up after us is the best of White and Jordan. Until the Final Word tomorrow, have a wonderful evening.